Hello again. Welcome to day 3 of our 5 days to simplicity challenge. So before we get going with today's topic, which is all about prioritizing our time, I want you to make sure you went to thesimplifiedsoul.com and put your email in, because I will send you not only the other 4 days of this 5-day to simplicity challenge video lessons, but also a workbook, and we have a free community where you can get inside and talk with other ladies who are also trying to simplify and work through these things together. So make sure you go there, thesimplifiedsoul.com, put your email in, and check your junk folder, because sometimes the email may go there. But you're going to get an amazing workbook that you can really think through this. And today you're going to need your workbook, because we're going to talk about time. And inside your workbook, I have a challenge for you that I want you to do today, okay? So day 1, we talked about shifting our mindset, realizing that simplicity was possible, and I gave you a fun little challenge to mark down how many times that day you picked up your phone to do something other than call people. And day 2 was all about recognizing our top 5 most important things. And I gave you a little challenge to find 5 big rocks and write on them with Sharpie your most important, five most important things. Place it where you can see it. So today we're going to talk about prioritizing our time, and I have a challenge for you. But I hope that you're beginning to see that simplicity is possible. Simplicity is amazing. Simplicity relieves your shoulders from some of the stress that you carry. Simplicity allows stress to just fall to the side and focus to enter in. Focus on the priorities. But in order to do that, you have to get rid of things. And sometimes getting rid of things isn't easy, because maybe we love some of the things we have to say no to. I know that was my personal experience. Or maybe you're afraid of the quiet. I know a friend of mine, that was her experience. She hadn't sat quietly with herself long enough to actually see what her heart needed. And maybe that's you. Maybe you are afraid to stop the busyness because you're afraid of what you might find in there. But I just challenge you to do the healing process of simplifying your soul. Your soul house is your mind, will, and emotions. And when your mind is cluttered, your emotions don't stand a chance. When your emotions are all over the place, your willpower is gone. And the things that are important just don't hit your priority list. You have to simplify your soul. You have to simplify your mind. You have to declutter these things. You have to begin to understand your emotions. You can't keep suppressing them. You have to process them. And then you will find that your willpower begins to come back. It's a process. But simplicity is worth it. So today I want you to focus on time. So yesterday, if you did yesterday's training, you've already discovered your top 5. If you didn't, try to go back and do that, because you're going to need to know your top 5 in order to do today's training. Today, we're going to look at our time. We all have the same amount of 24 hours in a day. Do you ever wonder, how come that person can achieve that goal, but I can't? Do you ever wonder, how come that person's so motivated, but I'm not? I learned something. I learned that most people that are achieving their goals is not because they're motivated. See, we all have the same amount of 24 hours in our day. We all have the same amount of time. It's because they learned to become disciplined in their priorities. It wasn't that they were motivated. Not everyone's motivated to go exercise. I'm not. I used to be, and then kids came along. Motivation out the window. Not everyone's motivated to work on that relationship that's hard. See, the difference between the people who achieve those things that they want in their life and the people that don't is they have learned that they can't be ran by motivation. They have to be ran by discipline. They have to learn to discipline themselves by fitting their priorities into their schedule. Now, what I've found works best for most people, for me, absolutely, but for most people, is to fit your priorities in early. For example, if exercise is an important part of your priority, your goal to get healthy, and you find yourself after work, you're just too tired to do it, or after a long day with the kids, you don't have the energy, you need to get up early and do it. Make it a priority. Mark it off your list. Maybe relationships are one of your top 5, growing in a certain relationship. Let's just say your spouse, for example. But you find yourself on your phone doing Netflix all the time. Or maybe you find yourself doing social media all the time. And how about instead you make it on your priority list. You say, I'm going to go on a date with my spouse this week. And I'm not going to get on social before I've given him 5 minutes of my day. I'm not going to get on my phone if I haven't taken an interest in him. Okay, so the challenge today, inside your workbook, you're going to have a day listed. It's going to have all the hours of the day from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. All the hours of the day. And I want you to just carry this sheet around with you today and fill in where did your hours go. Now, I know some days look different, right? For most of us, Monday through Friday might look like work, sports, whatever, whereas Saturday might be more freeing. So I challenge you, if you have different types of days, like weekday versus weekend, to do this exercise on both days. Write down, where does all your time go throughout the week? Every single hour of the day, what are you doing? Did you open social media and not realize that 2 hours has passed? Scrolling? Write that down too. All the things are going to make it into the sheet. Do the same for your weekend. Maybe it's a Saturday or a Sunday. Where does your time go? Because I want us to tally up, where is our time going? And inside your worksheet, you're also going to have an area where you're going to be able to highlight if your priorities, your top 5 that we talked about yesterday, are making it into your timeline. And this is going to be a real telling, activity to show you if your priorities actually are your priorities or not. Because here's the truth. Sometimes we say our priority is a certain thing, but the things we're doing in our life do not show it as a priority at all. So it might be a priority right here, but it's not a priority right here. It might be a thought through your mind like, oh yeah, I want that to be a priority. But deep down in your soul, you're not making it a priority because you're not giving it the time and energy that it needs. Because here's the truth about the top 5 big things. Oftentimes, that's all our life has time for. What we don't realize is our life doesn't have time for 5 hours of screen time a day. It does, but you cannot expect peace, momentum, joy when all of your time is going to things that aren't on your priority list. If you say your priority list is your physical health, but your time doesn't have any room for it, something else has to go off that list. There's no other way. Something else has to go off that list. Okay, so what are your top 5? Fill out your hour tracker for the whole day and highlight anywhere that something you were doing contributed to your top 5. And then tally at the end of the day how many hours actually went towards your top 5. Your top 5 most important things. And how many hours didn't. Now, after you did that for a few days, maybe a weekday and a weekend, there's going to be a third column where you're going to organize and prioritize your day. This third column, I want you to take some time to set aside to write out. Okay, this isn't because I'm motivated. This is because I'm going to be disciplined to create a simpler life. And you're going to write out your schedule. So I actually had to do this myself. I used to love exercise and health. And then I had kids. And then I had hard things in life. And all of a sudden I just didn't love it no more. I didn't find myself motivated to do it. And for years, I spent time not making it a priority because I was too tired, or I thought I'd do it later in the day, or XYZ, fill in the blank with the excuse. And I finally come to realization one day that it wasn't about motivation, it was about discipline, and that the only way I was going to get it done in the season of having kids in my home was to wake up at 5 a.m., which I hated, I'm not a morning person, and do it. And the crazy thing is, after about 2 weeks, that's all it really took, of waking up early and doing the priority, it became a habit. It became a normal part of my day. Today, I woke up and did it. Every day throughout the week, I wake up and do my workout. And it's not hard anymore because it became a priority. Okay? So, on the third column, you're going to write out your ideal day. And you're going to make sure your top 5 fit in that. You're going to make sure if your health is one of your top 5, you make time for exercise and healthy eating. Because it takes a lot of time to do those things. If relationships are in your top 5, you're carving out time for those things. Our kids, we have 2 kids, and it was very important to us that we make one-on-one dates for them, one-on-one connections. Well, that requires a couple hours out of each week. And we alternate. So one week I might have a date with my son, the next week with my daughter, the next week with my husband. And he does the same thing. Because intentionality and connection is our top 5. So it's on our top 5. But it has to fit into our schedule, because if not, we'll just go to things that aren't top 5. We'll fill our life with those things, and then we'll wake up one day and our kids won't be connected to us. So this is your challenge for today, for this week, is to get crystal clear on your priority list, on your time, where your time is going to, 3 columns. Fill out a normal work day, where your hours are going. Fill out a weekend, where your hours are going. Fill out where you want your hours to go. How you can fit your priority list into this third column. And then we're just going to stick to doing that. And don't worry, I have some tools to help you stick to doing it. So continue through the 5-day simplicity challenge. Do me a favor, if this is helpful so far, share it with some friends. Share the simplicity challenge, because I truly believe a life of simplicity is so much better than a life of stress, chaos, overwork, overexhaustion. There's a better way. And one piece to finding that better way is to begin to prioritize the hours of your day with your top 5 important things. Hope this has been helpful. Remember, thesimplifiedsoul.com, put your email in, because inside of there we have a free community. I want you to drop this sheet into the free community once you complete it. Drop your worksheet for today into there so we can see how you're prioritizing your time to simplify your soul. I'll see you guys back for day 4 tomorrow. Bye.